One Piece, chapter 956, big news, and big news indeed. This is a monumental chapter. This was amazing and straight out of left field. I mean, this is like typical Oda, just dropping these bombs when you just don't expect it, and we get incredible chapters like this. And of course, that means there's so much to talk about, but I will try to keep it as concise as I can, so let's get into it. So it opens up with Garp taking Shirahoshi and Neptune back to Fishman Island, and Garp reveals that there was a quote-unquote incident that happened after they had left the Reverie, and that it was connected to the Alabasta Kingdom. So I'm going to assume that this is the assassination attempt that Morgans is talking about in this chapter, which likely means that the target was Vivi. Mainly because, you know, the Alabasta Kingdom, and Shirahoshi straight up name drops Vivi here. And then we also have to remember that Imu-sama, you know, the one above all in the world government, he has beef with her, like he straight up stabbed her picture back in the Reverie arc last year, likely because the Nefertaris are connected to the Void Century somehow, and he just wants her out of the picture, and that's what this whole assassination attempt is. It's likely because he set it up, told the Gorosei to make it happen, and they did. So that being said, it's an attempt, meaning that she's likely to still be alive, but maybe injured or something. So then it cuts to Big News Morgan, and we see that he receives a bribe from the world government because they don't want him to publish this story because of how crazy significant it is and all the chaos that it's going to cause. But he denies it because he's an OG and he has his journalistic integrity. But that's not enough. We apparently find out that there's a Cypher Pole agent that was, I guess, undercover the whole time in the World Economic News Agency, possibly, because the dude that, the mask that he had on with the mustache, that dude was recurring in this agency. So was he there the whole time? Remains to be seen. But regardless, he was there, and he was going to straight up shoot Big News Morgan if he didn't accept the bribe, or if he just decided to publish the story anyway. But no. Morgans just annihilates this dude, and it kind of makes sense. So if you're wondering, like, why is Morgan so powerful here, it's because he has a Zoan fruit. Like, one of the most recent Viver cards revealed that Morgans ate the albatross fruit, and that he just decides to stay in his transformed state all the time, because I guess it's like his brand. But also, we already kind of knew that Morgans was, like, kind of beastly because he didn't faint or just pass out from Big Mom's, like, Conqueror scream that she did back in Whole Cake. And we're seeing here that not even guns and just Cypher Pole agents are really anything to him. So Morgans is kind of a beast, low-key, I guess. So then the second huge headline is revealed, and that is apparently Sabo is dead or has been killed. And I don't know if this is true. I mean, it's very unlikely that Oda would just off-screen Sabo. Now, don't get me wrong, there is a possibility, and it would certainly be very interesting if that is the case, but I just don't think it quite is, and I think the reaction that Dragon gives to it is supplementing that more than anything. I mean, besides the fact that it's just off-screening Sabo, which would be weird, you know, given how significant of a character he is. But he says, you know, first of all, we need to confirm the facts for ourselves. And if you're wondering, like, how would they confirm it? Well, other than just digging deeper and just getting the truth, you know, via anecdotal evidence or whatever, they probably have a Viver card on Sabo. I assume that they have to, because it's kind of like standard for this level of dudes in this world. So if they pull the Viver card out and it's still active, then that confirms that Sabo's still alive, and they also can go after him and save him. But it's kind of like, you know, what's going to happen with that? Because the revolutionaries has already failed to try to go after the world government. I mean, obviously they failed at the Reverie. So are they just going to, like, go on a revenge mission and just drop everything and try to go after Sabo? Because if Sabo's not dead, which is likely, that means that he's captured and that he is, you know, with the world government. It may be similar to how Kuma is. I don't think they're going to have him on parade the way that Kuma is, but they're going to have him somewhere. Maybe an Impelled Down, something like that. I don't know. Oh, speaking of Impelled Down, we see Daffy again. And apparently he has a newspaper. Like, why is Daffy getting the newspaper? You know, why are they giving him that? Isn't that kind of like a bad idea? But regardless, after that, we see Blackbeard. And he says something super interesting. He says, so we're setting out. Instead of letting it land in the hands of the Marines, I'd much rather take it for myself. So what is he talking about here? Not exactly sure, but based off of all of the big news being revealed here, especially since all of the info that has just been focused on with Sabo dying, it could be him going after the revolutionaries again, because he already initially did that. That's why they're on Kamabaka Kingdom right now, because he wrecked their original HQ. So maybe he's going to go and finish the job or do whatever he needs to with them. Or, you know, there's a chance that he could go somewhere else that we're not even privy to the information that he has. I mean, it just seems likely that it's pertaining to the information on the newspaper here. Some people speculate that maybe he's going to Whole Cake Island to get the Poneglyph, but, like, how would he know that Kaido and Big Mom have teamed up? You know, and also it's just not lining up with the present information that's being focused on right now. Although it really could be anything, but I just think it's very likely that he's referring to the revolutionaries right now. All right, on to the next bombshell. X-Drake is a part of the Marines. He is a double agent. This is huge. I speculated this back in my Chapter 950 review, and it has come to fruition. But not only that, but he is apparently a part of a special section of the Marines called Sword, and that's awesome. Also, if we remember, like, Cypher Pole, they're like Aegis, which is the shield. So now we have the Sword and Shield, the two secret divisions of the Marines, which is pretty cool. But also, he's directly talking to Kobe, who is apparently also a part of Sword. And speaking of Kobe, he has gotten a promotion. He is now a Rear Admiral. And I expected this to happen, but not so soon. Like, Kobe's only 18, and he's just already a Rear Admiral, just jumping up ranks like nothing. And I suppose that by the end of the story, he's likely going to be a Vice Admiral, maybe even an Admiral. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But anyway, so they're talking about all the significant stuff that's going on, and X-Drake is confirming to Kobe that Big Mom and Kaido have teamed up. So now the Marines, they know about it. And for sure, Kobe is going to relay this information to Akainu, or just whoever can relay it to Akainu. And then maybe that's how we get Kizaru to Wano. Maybe this is the key, the bridge that we're going to get to that happening, because the seed was kind of planted last year with that. So maybe that's how it happens. But also we have to remember that X-Drake was implied to be talking to Law previously. So whatever plan that Law has been going along with recently is involvement with X-Drake, who probably revealed to him that he was a part of Sword, you know, the double agent. So this means that Law is confirmed, more or less, to not be the traitor, which we all kind of expected not to be true. I mean, at this point, it seems like one of the minks, maybe Carrot, is the traitor, but that's Wano stuff. We're talking about post-Reverie stuff now, and that brings us to the next huge reveal, maybe one of the biggest reveals ever in the history of the story, and that is the Shichibukai, the Warlords. The system has been abolished. They are done, and this is massive. And not only they're abolished, they're not giving them a grace period or anything. They're just immediately going after them. They're like, yeah, the Warlord system is done, and now you're all coming with us, and you're going to Impel Down now. Sorry, but, you know, thanks anyway. Which is kind of, like, unfair, I guess. But then again, it's like, where is the line? Like, what is fair and what isn't fair? They are pirates. But I just think that maybe they would give them, like, a grace period. Be like, look, guys, you aren't warlords anymore. That's done. So we'll give you a chance to just be good and don't do anything bad. But the second you do something bad, we're coming after you. But I guess that's expecting a little too much. But also, let's remember that way back in the Reverie, Fujitora was talking about meeting up with Vegapunk, and that he allegedly developed something that's going to make the warlords irrelevant. That's going to replace them or something. So I guess this is lining up with that. Maybe it's like the new Pacifista system. Maybe it's like a power-up to somebody. Maybe a true synthetic devil fruit. Likely to be the perfected Pacifista models, which are probably just as powerful as what like a standard warlord would be, whatever you think that is. But we see them immediately going after Buggy, who implies that he's going to escape, so I assume that's going to happen. I don't think Buggy's going to get captured again and go back to Impel Down, although he could, but I think Buggy's going to make it out of this one. But then the biggest one that we see here is that they're going after Mihawk, which is awesome. And it's like, what are they expecting to do here? Now, granted, they have a whole bunch of Marine ships there, but Mihawk by himself can just blast one of those ships away with one of his crazy green blast things. I forget the name of it off the top of my head, but you know, the thing that he cut that huge piece of ice that Aokiji made in the Summit War. But yeah, like, they're gonna need an admiral for sure. Maybe there is an admiral on one of those ships going after Mihawk here. Maybe this is where we see Ryokuyu. You know, I'm just getting ahead of myself because I don't even think we're going to see anything after this chapter. I think after this we're going to go back to Wano. That's typical Oda style. You know, he just drops this and then it's like, okay, goodbye. You know, think about this for the next year and I'll talk about it maybe when I feel like it. But, you know, there is a chance that we might see the developments of this afterwards. But regardless, this is going to be awesome. I just hope that we find out what happens with Mihawk at least, because he's not being taken in. I think it's just absurd that the Reeds are even trying to do it, but you know, you gotta at least expect them to at least try. But come on, man, it's Mihawk. But also that brings me to the bounties now, because now that they are no longer the warlords, they're gonna get bounties again. And we have no idea what Mihawk's bounty was originally, because you know they get frozen when they become the warlords. So he's gonna get a new one. And I really hope they reveal it because, come on, I think we can expect Mihawk to have a 1 billion plus bounty. I mean, he's definitely on that level, but it depends on how high it's going to be. Maybe he could be like in the 2 billion category, you know, like Yonko type bounties. But it all remains to be seen. But then we see that Edward Weevil, he's back in the story. He's being sought after as well. And then he says that he's going to kill all of them, so maybe he does that. Maybe they don't have anybody really too powerful going after him. So it seems like Weevil's probably going to escape from here. I think all of the warlords, more or less, are going to make it out of this okay. Possibly. We'll see what happens. But then that brings us to the last one that we see, and that's Hancock, who's being sought after by Kobe. And we have to remember that both of these characters have a strong affinity for Luffy. So maybe they'll find some kind of common ground there. Like maybe they'll reveal that they're both fans of him. They both, you know, really like him, love him even. So we'll see what happens with that. But like I said, I don't think we're going to get a resolution to this. But hey, it would be incredible if we did. But I just fully expect us to go to Wano in 957, which we don't have a break next week. It seems like once these chapters are released, we get like a break. But no, we're just going straight into it. And then we're probably going to get a break after that. But yeah, let me know what you thought about this chapter. Incredible. So much to talk about. Just let me know what you think about everything. Please, I'm fascinated to hear what you have to say. I mean, it's just amazing. If you like the review, guys, please give it a like. I also have a Patreon. It gives you access to a weekly Q&A. And if you haven't already, please subscribe as well. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.